At 15 years old, I moved out of home, and being that young, I didn't have much money at all. But to put myself through school and then through university, I worked part-time at McDonald's. I relied on government support and also on the kindness of charity. And this was in multiple forms, but mainly it came from them, giving me bags of what amounted to off or soon to be off food, as well as by taking learn to cook classes. These learn to cook classes involved, youth and other people coming to a building and basically them taking you shopping, showing you how to shop, as well as teaching you how to cook. Simple meals like, spaghetti bolognese and stuff like that. Now, I knew how to cook, but at the end of these lessons, you got to eat the food. And the fact that you got to eat the food at the end of the lesson was the reason I went to these lessons. The reason I bring this up is that a lot of people struggle with their finances and they have little to no money to spend on. And I tell you my story because I can share that I've been there, or I've been in a place that's quite struggling compared to the regular person in my society. The reason I want to say this is to provide a couple of tips that I found to be quite useful. The first one is to really work out what you value. And if you work out what you value, then you can choose where your money goes. So for me, I'm, not a car person at all. So I haven't chosen the best car at all. My car's it's embarrassing, or it would be embarrassing if I was a car person. The same thing's true for the latest gadgets or for video games and that sort of stuff. I want to be able to put the little amount of money that I have to the best of work doing the things that I enjoy. So personally, I enjoy doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I enjoy reading. I enjoy going on coffee dates with my partner. So that's where my money goes. If I spent on everything that catches my eye and just bought it, I would have a lot less money to spend, and therefore I wouldn't be able to do the things that I actually valued. So I guess the main piece of advice is, if you work out what you truly like and what you truly value, take a step back, reevaluate the purchases you're making and go, is this in line with what I value? Or is this just like something that's caught my eye, something fancy? If it's something you value, save up, put your money towards that. If it's just something that have caught your eye, move on. And I suppose some other little bits of advice would be, down a similar vein, look around your house. If you've got things that you don't use or that you don't need, sell it. Go on eBay, go on Facebook Marketplace or Gumtree or any of these other websites and put it up. And yeah, you'll probably make a financial loss on the thing because, you can never sell it for the purchase price or even what you think it's worth. But if you've got something sitting there in the corner that's just taking up space, it's worthless. If you're not using it, that thing is literally, there's no point in having it. So once again, work out what you value, get rid of the stuff you don't need, and with the money that you get from that, that's money to travel. That's money, if you like music, to buy new headphones. If you're into cars, that's more stuff for your cars. Like, get rid of the stuff you don't need that's accumulated and look around your house, and I guarantee you there'll be a bunch of crap that you don't need. Go and sell it and put that money towards something that's useful. Another tip that really came in handy for me was, I was working at Macca's, and if you think about the environment at a McDonald's, there's a lot of grease and salt and other stuff on the floor. And this stuff can very, very quickly eat away at your shoes. So the bit of advice I got was, buy the best quality shoes that you can that are designed to, not break down in that oil and fat and grease-filled environment. Now, the shoes that I got were quite expensive, maybe 3 times more the cost of just cheap black shoes that were the uniform. However, when people wore those cheap black shoes, they would break within a month to 2 months. But I paid 3 times more, and yeah, it was tough to save for that, but those shoes lasted maybe 1.5 to 2 years. So the piece of advice is to pay as much as you can, in the sense of buy the best quality tool that you can afford, because then hopefully you won't have to replace it as much. So that way, in the long run, you're actually saving. Obviously, it's a challenge to save up for that in the first place, and you have to balance, what you've got now to what you will need later, and each person's different. But in overall, buy the best quality tool that you can afford. So how do you manage your finances? Please comment below, let me know, and we'll have a discussion. And if you like that tip, I'd like you to head over to my website at zachary-phillips.com and sign up to my email subscriber list. And the reason being is that tip will be featured in my next book, How to Get Your Shit Together. And this book is basically a summary of all the different things that I've done to get from a fairly traumatic place to where I am now. Literally, it's in the title. It's how I got my shit together. So it will cover a bunch of things from, mental health in the moment, depression, anxiety, all of that sort of stuff, to finding yourself and pursuing your dreams. There'll be stuff about finances, stuff about exercise and diet, and it's just sort of a general overview. I wanted to make a self-help book that would have actually helped me when I was growing up, when I was struggling, when I was dealing with, abuse and torment and a challenging past. So head over to my website, zachary-phillips.com. Put your email in, and I'll keep you updated on what I'm going. And when my book, How to Get Your Shit Together, comes out, you'll be the first to know. Thanks.